welcome back to another episode of Three Crones and the Woo Woo. I am Gayle Nicholson. To my side is Krista Ducharme, and down here as our foundation is Joanne Angel Barry Colon. Hey ladies, how are you guys doing this week? Joanne, what's up with you?
I'm doing as great as one can be in this amazing, crazy energy we have going on. Yes, but we'll talk more about that when we get into the cosmic stuff. So I'll save that for then.
Alrighty. Krista, how's your crazy, exciting week been?
My crazy, exciting week is awesome. We just went down into full lockdown here in the Netherlands, Germany, Belgium, France, Poland. Oh, I don't know. I'm sure that the list goes on and on. So
Awesome.
we're working with it, we're rolling with it, and we're appreciating the fact that we are healthy and well. And what more can you ask for, right?
Yep, absolutely. I got a text from my daughter this morning. It lives up in the Michigan. She's like, I understand now. All of this quarantining and mask wearing, it's to train us how to live on the moon.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm like, wouldn't snorkeling be a better trainer for that? I don't know.
I don't know. That is it. That is a way to look at it.
Right? Oh, I think my mic is like way too far back. Here, let me scooch this in here a little bit. So like we said, it's been kind of a crazy week energetically, so to speak. And people are feeling it all over the place. I don't even know where we're at with the American election stuff. It's on, it's off, it's on, it's off. I've been watching House of Cards and wondering if that was like the script for what's happening now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. About
Okay, I
3
haven't
seasons
watched
ago. It's like, that's where they
Wow,
got the
no.
ideas.
Yeah, could be. You never know. We're still on Game of Thrones here at our house.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Season 8. We need to find season 8.
Oh,
Now the library's closed, so
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. Game of Thrones was absolutely fantastic the first few seasons. And towards the end, you could tell that the writers were on their way on to another project and just were phoning it in, unfortunately. But, we digress. This week actually has been a great week for woo-woo type things, if you will. There's an awful lot of mindset stuff going on out there, and choosing, as opposed to necessarily being at the effect of just how the things are going. And one of the conversations that I had this week to empower somebody else was when you're in a relationship with someone, it's much more powerful to accept them as they are and as they are not than spending your energy and your peace of mind on wishing they were different or trying to make them be different or any of that, you know?
Yep.
And I don't know, what are your thoughts on that?
No, I'm with you. It, accepting a person where they're at when you're in that now moment is far more empowering for you as the individual than it is trying to go down the rabbit holes of I wish they were this is what I need. Because when we start accepting folks where they're at, I find it's really amazing how they blossom. And they blossom frequently into more of what we're looking for, or else they just go away. One or the other.
Yes. Yes.
One or the other. And so, it's an amazing empowerment exercise when you start doing that with people. Definitely.
Yeah. It's like that that wall of resistance that they have actually falls because you're not resisting against them, right? So there's nothing to hold the wall in place. It falls, and then how they can really be shows up. And like you said, either that creates a closeness or it creates a distance.
Yeah, a
Like
separation.
a perpetual distance, if you will.
Yes, yeah. And one of the other aspects is sometimes a person isn't supposed to be in our life for a long time. You know, they're only, some people are only supposed to be in our life long enough to, you know, maybe teach us a lesson about ourselves, teach us a lesson about others, or just, you know, empower us with a kindness, if you will. And that for me personally was a hard lesson to learn, because I always thought it was a me issue. I was like, am I just an unlikable person? But really what it is, it's not that I'm unlikable. It's just that not everybody is supposed to be part of that, or part of your inner circle, or be part of your active life constantly.
Right.
So yeah.
Yep. And conversely, it doesn't mean always that somebody is gonna have to go away, right? There can be evolution of the relationship, right? And great stuff. But man, this has been a week for really choosing. Okay, you are who you are, or you're not who I want you to be, and that's still okay. It's that opening of however you are and however you're not is okay.
That's right.
You know, that keeps them from having to fight back about. Awesome. So, Joanne, I wanted to check in real quick. How is things going in Queens? How's your dad? Yeah.
It's a little weird here in Queens because I don't know what the hell is going on. There, as far as I know, out here in the 5 boroughs, where as of yesterday, the indoor dining has shut down, so no indoor dining, and unless the actual restaurant wants to set up outside where it's cold, there's no outside restaurants either.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so I don't really know energetically what's going on with that. I mean, it really doesn't affect me at all because I don't really indulge in the outside in the restaurants in itself. My whole thing is if I'm gonna eat out, which I do. I mean, I eat Chinese food like almost every night, the healthy way, and you know he doesn't do his shop doesn't do eating in. It's all takeout, so it works really well for me. And our dad is, you know, doing better. I was just telling Gayle that this past weekend we've had a really interesting experience with my dad on Sunday. Decided he wanted to repair I think it's called the nativity thing that goes under the tree. What's it called?
The nativity.
The nativity, yeah.
He wanted to repair it or fix it or build it, whatever the hell he wanted to do. And he decided he needed to use a saw to do this.
Okay.
And my dad is 74.
Okay.
Yeah. And long story short, I guess he lost either control of what he was doing or the wood moved or something, but he decided he needed to go and move the wood. And when he did, he sawed 2 fingers.
Oh, snapdragons.
Yeah. So Sunday I ended up having to, after my TV show, to rush out and pick up my daughter because unfortunately she was home with him when this took place. And we rushed over to the hospital, knowing very well that we were not going to be able to go inside the hospital. So we had to wait outside in the car and stay up to date with him based on his phone. You know, so calling him and asking him how he was. Thank goodness he wasn't, let's say, passed out, unconscious, or any of the above, that we were able to have these conversations with them. But overall, he's a very strong man, and he has a tolerance for pain of I would say like Bill does.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Yeah. Yes. And that's his name, right, Gail? Bill?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
I wanted to make sure I had it right. And it's so funny because my dad's name is Bill also.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
So maybe
Okay.
there's something out there with the Bills. So if there's any other Bills out there in the world, please be careful.
You know, William the Conqueror, it's a long line of men that think, you know, I can do this. I can, and
Yeah.
they can.
Yeah.
They can.
Oh yeah, they can. Yeah. No,
well-
but he's very strong, and he's again, his pain tolerance is very high, so he's doing really well. He's just got to accept the fact that for a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks, he's got to slow down and not do anything because he can't right now.
And no using a saw.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to think somebody's going to sort of take that away, maybe, hopefully. I don't know who, but
On a good note, though, your daughter was there, you know, when the incident occurred. So as much as it may have shocked her, at least she was able to help him proceed everything needed to go. Because
she was definitely on her toes and did what she needed to do. She called me first. Of course, I didn't pick up because I was on my show. Then she called my sister. My sister was nowhere around. You know, she spoke to my sister, but she wasn't around to help. Then 911 was called. So and then we have my parents have a gracious neighbor. Both of them are nurses. So she went over there. She asked my dad if he was okay that she can walk to the neighbors, and he was like, yes. He stayed where he was. She went to the neighbor. The neighbor came over and took a look at him. Ambulance came and took him away. And so now we saw him with his little hand all wrapped up. And
they were able to reattach, though, correct? I mean, he still has those fingers. They're just okay. Good.
Yeah. I don't think they fully came off. I think he cut them to a certain degree. I don't think they fully came off. I mean, again, I didn't really get the full detail of the full picture of what took place, but just knew that two of his fingers, pointer and middle finger, were the two that were affected by this powerful injury.
He's restricted from giving a New York salute for a few weeks, I imagine.
Exactly. I'm sure he'll use the other hand.
Well, you know what? Let's take a look at Joanne's forecast this week and see how much of that might be in the mix there with Dad's injuries.
Yes. I believe we were speaking about this last week, and we were all really very excited. And we all should still be very excited because the gateways that opened up on December 12th, 12/12, and the gateway is still open until December 21st. And I like to think it's going to sort of fall into December 22nd as well. But when you have the repeating numbers of 12/12 and 12/21, if you look at those numbers, you got repeated threes, and works out to be a 33. So this really is a period of time when we think about the master creator. So what each and every one of us individually are creating for ourselves in our personal world, and then collectively what we are all creating as well. But it's not just creating on a very low vibration. It's a creation of something so much bigger than we can even imagine. And when we have energies like this, and I actually posted this on my Facebook page earlier, where with this energy brings up past patterns, it triggers us, and it may seem as though we're almost like taking a step back. That old expression is like, oh my God, it's like I could take 5 steps forward or 1 step forward, and then I end up falling backwards 3 or 4 steps. That's what it might feel like. But it's almost, and I like you to have this image in your head, or even in your eyes for that matter, it's almost like a bow and arrow, where in order for us to get to where we need to go, we do need to step back to fly forward. And if we don't step back to fly forward, we're not going to have the speed that we need so we can soar forward. And we do need to, because we can't stay where we are.
Right.
And that's what this energy is really all about. But in conjunction to this energy being what it's about, it is going to bring up patterns. Things are going to show up that you might actually be saying to yourself, I thought I did this already. I thought I learned from this experience already. Yes, you did. And you did learn from it. But the reason why it's showing up again is to remind you how far you have come from that time it showed up the last to now. It's not showing up for you to have to go dig into it and evaluate it and go through that whole process of healing again. No, it's just showing up to remind you how much you've learned, and also to help you become mindful of how you react to it when it does show up. And hopefully you react to it in a much better way than you've reacted to it maybe the first 500 times it showed up. You know, that maybe 501, you're now reacting to it a little differently than you have in the past. And if you do, be mindful and recognize how much you've grown since the last 499 times. That you're a different person now than you were then.
That's right.
So with this energy that we do have going on, and again, we have this energy right through December 21st. So right up until next Monday, we have this gateway of energy of showing us what it is we've done, how much we've learned. And it's almost like what's coming to me right now, which is so weird. I just got an image of it. It's almost like when you're a child and you're in, let's say, I don't know, 5th grade, 6th grade, and mom and dad has to go up to school for your progress report because report cards are coming. And you're dreading it because you know that you probably did not do as well as you thought you should have. And mom and dad are going to go and sit next to that teacher, and the teacher's going to pull out all your work and show everything you've done and your progress. And then mom and dad comes home and sits down with you and tells you how well your teacher spoke about you or the things you need to work on. That's exactly this energy we have going on right now. It's an evaluation of what we've done, where we are right now, and are we ready to move forward to the next page and not stay where we are. And that's really up to each and every one of us in that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And because I love to talk about the moon, our moon energy today is in Capricorn energy, which for those who know anything about oppositions, the opposite of Capricorn is Cancer energy. And now when we think about Capricorn energy, before I dive into the Cancer energy, because I would much rather talk about Cancer energy than Capricorn, because it happens to be my moon sign, but because it's Capricorn, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the Capricorn for a moment. So when we think about the moon to start off with, again, it's our emotions. So yes, every one of us are feeling a little more emotional than usual because we're in the moon energy. And the Capricorn emphasizes all about structures, corporation, traditions, public image, your fame, how you want to show up in the world, how you want to show up, your honors, your achievements and awards, which is really interesting. As I just gave you the analogy that your parents are sitting with your teacher and showing you everything showing your parents everything you've done, and that's the energy we're in. So we really are evaluating who we are and how much we have actually grown in, whether it's the last 10 years, 5 years, or the last week for that matter, because that's how much we grow. And we have to recognize that this period of time, this gateway that we're in right now, it's really about the patterns, the habits, the beliefs, and are you ready to not just step forward, but you're literally going to step back so you can fly to your next space and where you're supposed to go. And when we fly, we soar to this beautiful person that we become. So that's our energy. So I'm just going to leave you all with the fact of that. Just to stay positive, focus on the things you desire, spend less time focusing on the things that you don't like.
Oh God,
and
yes.
as both Gayle and Krista were saying, recognize the people that you are with, see them as the best version of who they are, and believe me, they will eventually start showing that as well. See them as the star that's in the sky, and they will become that star.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Just to kind of add on that, when I think about the fact that this conjunction is coming up, Jupiter and Saturn, when I think of Jupiter and I think of Saturn, I think of the old school gods, right? Roman and Greek gods. Gods are coming together right now, right? So it completely stands to reason that we're like doing your life on review. You know, and to not forget too that these planets are so far out that their orbit is so long. They cover entire generations. So when we're looking at this, we're looking at the last 20 years of what we've been doing, or 30 years of what we've been doing, as an overview. And I gotta say, I totally 100% agree with that analogy of doing the parent teacher conference kind of thing and going, okay, here's where you're doing well, here's where work is needed. And in the last couple of weeks, I had repeated patterns in my life that I was like, you shall not pass. We're not doing this anymore. Right? Mm-hmm. And then in just the last couple of days, there's been like, I don't want to say echoes of it, because it makes you see it seem like they're not there. It's, you know, like airy. But less intense, smaller experiences of it. Mm-hmm. Right? So I got a choice that way, right? I can go, oh God, it's back again. Or I can go, oh, wait a minute. This is smaller than it used to be. This is easier than it used to be. It's diminishing in my life, right? Mm-hmm. That type of thing. So thank you so much for that, Joanne, because it really, I love it when your reports help me connect the dots and like, oh, okay, this is how that's showing up for me. And I hope that our audience can see for themselves how what you're talking about is showing up in their lives too. Because I'm sure they don't have the exact experiences I do, but I'll bet you the paradigm is the same.
Oh yeah, I know for myself. I mean, just this past weekend, you know, I had an experience, and when it showed up, I was like, the first thing out of my woohoo, can't even talk. First thing out of my mouth was the F word. I was like,
you don't use that word.
Yes, every once in a while that word comes out of my mouth, and I'm like, I cannot believe this is happening again. Mm-hmm. And it literally took me, I'd say, about 24 hours. It wasn't as short as I thought it was going to be. I was hoping it to be, to literally recognize that, wait a minute. All this is letting me know where I was when this happened the last time, and recognizing it now. And then when I shared it with whom I needed to share it with, the response that person had was very different than the response that person had prior time. So both of us have really transformed in the way we reacted to the situation. Yeah. And that itself was like, it's not about a pattern going backwards. It's about teaching the both of us that how much the both of us have grown with the situation. Mm-hmm. And that itself to me was like, wow. Mm-hmm. I had like an aha moment, like, okay, this is not so bad. Mm-hmm. This is not so bad. I'm okay. I'm good with this. I can move forward. You know, and I'm hoping our viewers have the same experience. So take a moment just to reflect, because I think sometimes we need to reflect before we react.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
That's always helpful.
Definitely. Yeah. No, we all are right now. I mean, you guys I had a similar last week with the energy as well. You know, it was like I had a situation that occurred, and I've been taking a page from Brene Brown and dubbing it as my shitty first draft, or your SFD. And it's the story you play in your head, right? So it's the conversation that you have, and it's like, well, why do I have to have the actual conversation with the person? Because I've already decided what it's going to be in my head, right?
Right.
So I had one of those SFDs, and I'm like, okay, hold on. This is not fair to the person. I need to actually have the conversation. And the conversation went a totally different way than then I had expected, because I got it out of my head. Mm-hmm. I love to always tell people, this is a very small unit right here that sits on the top, and we have to expand and express it out. And it is, there are a lot of things. I totally agree with what you both are saying, to the point of I'm going, oh, light bulb. Oh, wow. I was not seeing that. And I've been making connections with other things.
So I gotta ask though, when you
Yeah.
had that actual conversation in real time with a real
Yeah.
person, did it
Yeah.
go better than you imagined, or were you kind of like,
Yes.
dude, you're not following the script?
No, it totally didn't go the way that my, SFD went. And so, like I said, I took a page from Brene Brown in terms of even how I worded the conversation is it's like, look, so this is a story that's going on in my head. Now let's have the conversation, but I want you to know what's happening in my head. and and please, by all means, I do not own this. I highly recommend trying this process. But yeah, because the conversation went totally different. And part of it is from the fact that we both have grown. We're both in different places. We both have gone through it just wisdom, experience, however you want to put it. So, but yeah, it's happening, I think, to all of us and in many different ways. And so, yeah, when I tell you guys about the crystals and then we put that all together, all of a sudden it's going to be like kaboom.
Yeah. In fact, let's actually do that now. All right, Krista's Crystal of the Week.
Excellent. So my crystal of the week, I'm not going to do a huge introduction because I want to talk about it, is garnet. Now, what's really funny is I just spent the last hour trying to find my big garnet, which is being camera shy because I couldn't find it. So I have been wearing these gorgeous garnet earrings that my lovely friend made me. And I have my garnet bracelet on, but I also have my little garnets and it's a red garnet. So just to clarify, there are 12, 13, I think it's 12 or 13 colors of garnet. This week's is red garnet, and red garnet is amazing. It is a grounder. I have last week's crystal still here with me, which was pyrite. Remember how I called this the negative Nelly? Neutralizing crystal for us, because that's what we kind of needed. We were transforming. We had used malachite the week before for transforming. Last week we're still transforming. Well, this week the red garnet is the warrior's stone. It's the stone that warriors would encrust on their armor. They would have it encrusted on their shields. They would wear it around their neck to give them strength. It was for integrity. It was to remind them. I want to say remind them what they were fighting for. Is I think the best way we today could translate it. And so with what you were just saying, Joanne, and what we've all been talking about, that's kind of the energy really that we're in. We have gone from, the energy of transforming, the energy of protecting what we're transforming to really bring forth this change that's about to occur with the end of the year into we want to stay within our own integrity, right? So think about everything. We're talking about the energy of the moon. We're still in that new moon energy. Today is the last day that we just had, right? Yeah. No, tomorrow. I'm trying to think, what day am I? That's right. 2 days after.
We stay in that energy for 3 days after the moon.
Okay, 3 days after the new moon.
Yeah.
So, but we're still in that energy, which is planting the seed. It's all about the growth. It's enacting what it is that we want. So with using or connecting with the energy of a garnet and wearing the energy of a garnet, I'll tell you, it's a wonderful stone to wear. I don't have a ton of it. Actually, Santa came early and put this in my stocking early.
Did you peek in the stocking early then? Is that what that means?
I did. I peeked a little early. He knew that I needed them for tonight's show. So yeah, but for me, with the way things have been coming, and I've already been diving into 2021, a conversation Gayle and I are already having. So I already see how this is all, I mean, I don't see it clearly, but I am seeing the puzzle pieces falling together with everything that's occurring. So my advice and my wisdom to each person who hears this today is sit for a few minutes and put your feet flat on the ground. Visualize a garnet. Close your eyes and visualize a garnet, and a red garnet, right? And with that red garnet, I want you to think of that as your seed that you're planting. The intention of what it is that you want to come forth, right? We're talking about accepting people where they are in the now and being with that, yes. But what is it that you want to come forth? My greatest focus that I encourage you to do during this is have it focus on you. Don't have it focus on anything that you have no control of. Focus on what you have control of. And then I want you to get a 3x5 card or a piece of paper, and I want you to write it down. Write down 3 things that you want to have come up for you and that you want to work on during this time, and really plant it down there with that garnet. Take it down into Mother Earth and put it there and see what blossoms. Now take that 3x5 card that you're putting in, that all your intention, and keep it on your bedside table and read it each night and each morning. And then here's the really big secret. You have to do your part to make sure it shows up.
The action.
Next, right? Action. Yes.
Action.
Yeah, there you go. You can't just say, well, Krista, I visualized the garnet and I wrote it down, but nothing happened. Well, no, you have to take the action. You have to, keep that momentum moving forward.
Absolutely.
And so remember, in physics,
what goes up must come down.
Yes, and an object that stays in, or an object that is in motion stays in motion.
Yes.
There you go.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's the crystal of the week, my friends.
That's phenomenal. Thank you so much, Krista. And if you are looking to find a beautiful red garnet, please reach out to our sponsor at everythingjustrocks.com and let Athena know that the 3 Crones sent you and you're looking for red garnet this week. Awesome. Awesome stuff. Now, when Krista told me about this week's...
I did peek on their website and they do have some lace.
Yes.
Oops.
No, it's fine.
We're talking over, sorry.
No worries. When Krista told me about that this week's crystal was going to be red garnet, I got very excited, actually, because I used to do a seminar in all of the stones of the high priest's breastplate, right? And this is one of those stones. And the whole seminar is essentially about now why, first of all, there's crystals in the Bible, right? We don't normally get the woo-woo aspects in the Bible, right? So that's one thing that's just, a wonderful surprise to begin with. But the red garnet is one of those stones, one of 12 stones that are used by the high priest. Now, what are they used for? It's not just like a stole like a priest wears or anything like that. It's actually, if you see pictures of it, it's a plate, about like that, 12 spots where these stones are that they carry on their chest. So it's right over their heart, right? between the creativity and the throat chakras, right over their heart. Now, why would they wear these? Because, like Krista was saying, for this one, integrity, right? Protection. Now, one of the things that's amazing as well is that red garnet's got all of these other nicknames, right? The stone of health, like you said, Krista, the warrior stone, right? I wrote some of them down. Stone of commitment, stone of majesty. And one of the reasons why the high priest would use it in this particular case is that it extracts the negativity from the chakra and transmutes it. So when you're wearing the garnet on the breastplate and going into negotiations with the enemy, it sucks the hatred out of your heart and transmutes it. It balances your energy field to be able to do the things that you want to do. It provides a calming and stable vitality, right? So that's pretty much why I named this episode to gird your loins against the changes that are ahead. Because we are in that in-between phase, that new moon phase, coming up on the conjunction. All kinds of stuff is changing. All kinds of stuff is being reflected back to us to notice how far we've come.
Can you open the door?
Right? And this type of a stone will carry us through with, and here comes Gayle's creative commitments. Internal fire.
I love that. Oh, that's sexy.
Isn't it though?
All right, that is wicked sexy, girl.
So here's the thing. Red garnet enhances our internal fire, bringing creative powers to the stage of manifestation. So this is like a bonfire within, if you will, that is, it's got you on a mission. It's calling in what it is that you're asking for. Just like Krista just said, write those things down that you want to take root, blossom, and grow. Do that now. Read those things in the morning. Read those things in the evening. That you're watering that seed. And that garnet is that fertilizer that's going to warm that seed so that it can reach up through that cold, hard ground and blossom into what it is that you've asked for. Right? So, along those lines, I kind of want to caution people. Internal fire is like any other kind of fire. It can warm, it can nurture, it can cook, it can annihilate, it can completely transform to ashes, it can whatever. So especially with your, trying to stoke your internal fire for the manifestation, bring in that calming, soothing vitality of the red garnet into whatever it is that you're trying to do, because that will help balance that so the fire doesn't get raging and out of control, but becomes something that you've harnessed to create whatever it is that you intend to create and manifest. All right. Do you two have anything that you'd like to pop in on top of that?
I think the only thing at least from my point of view, the only thing to pop in is, again, just reminding our viewers that with this energy to, again, just stay grounded and focus only on the things that you desire. Yeah. As much as you can, avoid knocking yourself down where you feel because it's not showing up as quickly as you may think it should. Recognize that it will show up in the divine time, not the human time, and definitely not your time.
But hopefully in time.
Yeah, it will show up exactly when it needs to show up. And as long as you remind yourself that you keep doing the work, and you stay focused on what it is you see it as, know that it's already in the process of showing up. And it's almost the same concept as when you place the order at the restaurant and you hang up the phone, you know that within 30 minutes to an hour, your food is going to show up. It's the same concept. Trust. And do not start going back and forth on, oh, it's not going to show up. I'm not good enough. It's not the right time. Get rid of the excuses, stay focused, and know that as long as you're doing the work, you're putting the action in and staying positive, it will show up. And it's going to show up so much more better than you even can imagine it showing up. Because as creators, we create a certain kind of way, and sometimes we don't create as powerfully as we can. So the universe helps us and creates it to be more powerful. So that's my
love it.
insight there.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
and
love it. Go ahead.
whenever you get stuck, just keep, rather than focus on the stuck part, I use the question, so what else is possible and how much better can that get? And yes, it is an access consciousness question, but I'll tell you, it can work wonders if you, in terms of getting you out of thinking about those negative thoughts, especially the negative self-talk. We all get caught up in those little filters that we create, and that really helps us change those filters, is just asking the question. Don't answer it. Wait for the universe to show you what gifts they have in mind.
Yes.
Because you'll be pleasantly surprised. I know I've been. So.
Have you ladies ever played tug of war with the universe?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I probably, yes. I mean, yes. Not consciously, but yeah.
No, I don't think it's conscious for anybody. I think it's just one of those things that we just sort of do without realizing we're doing it until we do it. Yeah. And it's like, oh, stop that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly. In my experience, I've always found that the universe is a really lousy tug of war partner, because they just let go of it and it's all in my lap again. And I'm like, no, please take the rope.
Yes, because the universe will let you drown.
Oh yeah.
The universe will let you drown. It's a very simple process. The universe will do two things for you. The universe will either help you put your wings on so you can fly, or the universe will literally, like Gayle just said, let go of the rope, and there you go.
Well, yeah. I mean, the universe is all about, what is it that you want? Okay, here you go. And if you keep taking back your requests, like, oh, check in the pot. Is it cooked yet? Is it boiling yet? Whatever. The universe is going, okay, let me know when you need me. I'm over here.
Exactly. You know,
awesome.
So put the request in and then get the hell out of the way.
Yeah. Stay out of your own damn way.
Stay out of the kitchen. There's no need to look at the pot again. It's in there. It's what it's got to do.
Right. You know, and that's a really good analogy, Joanne, because you were talking about getting Chinese food at the takeout joint. There's not even any tables in there to sit down. You call them up. You make your order, you trust that they know what to do to cook what it is you've asked for, and you wait for it to be delivered. Or, maybe sometimes you got to go down there and pick it up, but you still trust that they know what the hell they're doing in the kitchen.
Yes. It's really funny that you're saying that. I had a conversation with a client of mine, and I shared with him that analogy about, ordering the food and whatever not. And he said to me, he goes, well, it's different. I'm like, how so? He goes, because when you're ordering your food, you're handing them a credit card and you're paying for it. I was like, well, then it's not different. It's the same thing, because when you're placing your order with the universe, that's the exchange of energy. So it's the same damn thing, whether you are physically giving them a credit card number or you're placing the order with the universe. Well, it's still energy.
Absolutely no different in that also, that when you place your order with the universe, your next right action at the Chinese food place is to pay for it, right?
Yep.
Your next right action when you've ordered something else, maybe a little more etheric from the universe, is still to take the next right actions. Believe that it's going to be delivered. Yes. Do whatever are the actual physical next right actions. If I want to book somebody in a huge sponsorship spot, right? I need to email them my offer.
Yes.
This is what I want you to say yes to. I mean, there's always little next right actions. So it really is no different. You're paying for it in time as opposed to your bank account.
Exactly.
There's no difference.
No difference at all.
Nope. No, money, all money is an energy. It's an exchange of energy. that moves through people. Because money, whatever shape, form it comes in, was created by man.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all as a way to as just a way to
symbolic
exchange.
representation of value.
Yeah, a value, and that's it.
Independent value. Yeah.
I have a really funny vision that's showing up, and it may sound a little slangish, so excuse me if I offend anybody. I don't mean to, but it's almost like money is like being a whore. It goes from one hand to the next, constantly moving, one hand to the next. It does not stay in one person's hand for very long because this energy.
There you go.
Sorry.
No.
It was just the vision that was showing up. I'm like, yeah, that's a weird vision, but it's true,
Well, it's an honorable profession. It's the oldest one.
You know what, though? Let's dig a little bit deeper. And you're right, Krista, it is an honorable profession. But let's dig a little deeper on that. A gentleman servicing person, or, whatever way you want to put it, because I don't technically like the word whore. But
no, neither do I. Like I said,
but you know who I'm talking about, right? Someone like that goes where the money is. She doesn't have time to be flattered. She knows better, and she goes where there is work to do and money to be had, okay? So this whore is no different from, say, joy, right? Yeah. Money goes where joy is.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? It's like, it's all energetic, right? Mm-hmm. But she's on purpose. She's got business to do, and she's doing the job, right? So money will come to her. And it's no different in other areas too. But money tends not to go where there's no party. There's no fun. Money runs away from where there's no fun, right?
Yeah. Money needs
so
to flow.
You can connect the dots on that any way you want to, but
no, that is so true, though.
Yeah, money needs to flow. It has to go from here to here to here to here. If it just stays here, it doesn't. There's no energy involved. It has to go. It has to mingle. Mm-hmm. It just has to.
Yeah. I could probably put together a seminar on, are you a whore or a slut? Because sluts just pass it around without any recompense. Right?
They're giving away the milk for free.
Exactly. Whereas at least a whore has enough self-respect to demand payment.
Yes.
There you go. That is a great way.
That's part of the reason why I don't like the word whore. It's like it's not nearly as bad as you think it is, At any rate, we're
anyway.
And our viewership has just gone up.
The things that I hear, and again, I just like to let our viewers know that when I receive messages, my messages come out just really raw, and I have to deliver as I receive. So my apologies if I offended anyone in any way, but that's just how I receive it. And I can't think on my feet that quickly to come up with different terms when I'm receiving it the way I receive it.
No way. This is awesome.
No.
All right, ladies, we actually do need to hit the road for the day, for the week. Let me just mention to all of our listeners, thank you to our sponsors, Krista Ducharme with Dimensional Healing, Gayle Nicholson, that's me, with Creative Command Coaching and Consulting, and Joanne Angel Barry Colon with Holistic Fitness New York. This entire debacle is underwritten by GayleNicholson.com, and you can watch us everywhere, specifically Strong Island TV, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, GayleNicholson.com, and Strong Island Radio Network that makes this available on all kinds of podcast platforms. So thank you once again from all of us. Have fun this week. Remember, get your red garnet on order from everythingjustrocks.com, and keep your head in the stars but out of the clouds. Have a great one, everybody. Take care.